Okay. Let's try this again. Well, again, I forget the goddamn Pokemon.
What was it? Thunderbolt?
Vikavolt.
Vikavolt. Okay. Igavolt, Vikavolt. I do this. That's done. I do this. I make this go away. I do this. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 738, the Vikavolt Podcast. My
body is ready.
Can you tell us Vikavolt, please? Remember what I said?
Yes, and I thought about it, and I'm gonna use my intuition and just give you what I think is the best thing to give you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So stats on Vikavolt. It is number 738. It's a bug electric type Pokemon. Ability is levitate, half male, half female. So you're just likely to find either one. Like, not that they are half male, half female themselves. They're 4 feet tall, almost 5 feet tall, and they weigh just under 100 pounds. They look sort of like a little bug with like big pinchers in the front, like saw pinchers. So imagine like a stink bug with like saw pinchers, and they're like a bluish gray and yellow. And you will find them major appearances in the anime Sophocles' Vikavolt and Horatio's Vikavolt. And that is Vikavolt.
Oh,
what do you think?
Very good.
Wow.
I think that's better. We were talking about how we
were not. Raw Meat was telling me.
Well, I was saying the podcast can't start with this Pokemon like dragging us down every show, because we're like, all right, that's enough. Stop talking about it.
And it's not like it's my choice to have all this information.
So I told her
this was your idea.
Right.
Well, having the Pokemon
Thank
at the
you.
start of the show is important. I didn't blame you.
You made it like it's like, all right, now your Pokemon section is dragging us down.
Is that really what it's?
You're bringing me down, man.
No, it wasn't that. There have been comments about it, and I was like, yeah, I agree, because
there are comments about everything.
Hey,
okay.
Mom Brain.
Do you want to go back to the way it was? Is that what
Kirby?
you're saying?
Mom Brain?
Yeah.
You're bringing me down, man.
I mean, if you want to go back to the way it was, we can
I
do that.
don't even want to do it, quite frankly.
Wow.
It's just not, it feels like it's just a lot. Like, it's just a lot, man. It's like a universe I don't know anything about, really. I mean, I think I played like Heart Gold or Soul Silver, and I loved it. It was great. It's just, like, it's like getting into like The Walking Dead. Like, there's so much going on before.
Giant Reggie's heart is broken.
Listen, I don't mean it like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Too late.
I'm just saying that it's a universe.
Astravania says, I like the Pokemon section.
I'm glad.
Well, the funny
happy
thing
to
is like
oblige.
last week I was like, hey, let's do it like this. You just say the Pokemon, say its number and like the type, and we'll leave it at that. And this week you're like, I'm going to do more than that. And then you're like, boy, I don't like doing this.
I just like all the like what I did today is nice. Because here's what I want people to know. I want people to know what it looks like. I think that's important. Like, you just, and that's really hard to do when I don't really have a whole lot of context. I can't be like, oh, it looks like this Pokemon. I got to connect it to something else in the real world. And like, sometimes they don't look like anything in the real world.
I don't understand. Are you saying Pokemon aren't real?
I'm saying we should just move on with the podcast.
All right, Mom Brain. We have something to talk about that I didn't even know we were going to talk about.
Where'd you put that
before we
piece
get
of
into
paper?
it? It's on the ground over there. It
I
doesn't
need
matter.
it.
Doesn't matter. I wrote a little sign for the start of the podcast, because it's like every time I do this webcam thing, it's like, take a thumbnail for the webcam. It's like 3, 2, 1, click. So this week I remembered, and I wrote a little note that said, Happy Saturday.
Oh, it's on the floor.
It is on the floor because I hate it. But Mom Brain apparently watched me and was like horrified with how I wrote my letters. And I was like, save it for the podcast, because I'm sure this is a debate we can have on the podcast.
It's not a debate. like there's a way that it's supposed to be done,
Yeah,
and you're
your
not
way,
doing it.
if it's the way you're saying, is the wrong way. I mean, we're specifically talking about the letter A here, a capital. Well, all right, let's not say
No.
anything. Let's not say anything. Kirby, I want to say you're gonna have to
In
do
the
this.
air.
No, don't
Oh,
say,
boy.
don't say anything.
Okay.
Kirby,
Yes.
can you please flip that paper over? That's funny, Rob. Can you flip that paper over like you just did and write a capital A for us?
For the record,
Mom
I
Brain,
am sure I know where Kirby learned handwriting,
Mom Brain,
and
please.
so he's going to do it the right way.
You just keep adding things in. You just can't be quiet. Mom Brain, stop.
I'm looking.
Do it. One, and you're
Just-
suggesting
just
one of them is the wrong way, and
How do you?
No,
write?
just write it how you write it.
I'm pretty sure I start at the bottom left and go up and then cross over.
Thank you, Kirby. That is the
Instead
correct
of
way.
starting at the top,
Yes.
going to the
Yes.
left and then to the right.
Now, why don't you do it that way? Is it because there's an extra step?
Probably. I don't know.
Yes,
It's something
thank you.
I do completely like, subconsciously.
Giant Reggie, you're right. We're not writing on a paper plate because we don't have any paper plate.
Yeah, we're all out.
We got to get more. So yeah, the whole debate is Mom Brain saw me.
Wait, maybe I do it the right way. I honestly don't remember.
Mom Brain saw me write a capital A, and I start at the bottom left-hand part of the A, draw up, then draw down, to make an upside down V, and then I cross the A, and she was like horrified, and I was like, why would I start at the top? Because then you have to start at the top, go one way, start at the top again, go another way, and then cross it. That's another step.
I know there's another letter that I definitely write the wrong way.
Walm.
I can't remember which one it
So-
is. though.
Hello, by the way, Rob and TAW and Roth and Giant Reggie and Taw and whoever else I didn't see in here. Thanks for joining. Nico Darunia and BagelNet and whoever, the Owl Wolf and Astravania and Blunners and all you good people. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Yes, Mom Brain's reaction. She's not happy.
So for the record, when we teach handwriting, we teach, well, where do you start your letters? At the top. But basically, handwriting strokes fall into 4 categories. There's big lines, little lines, big C's, and little C's. So you want to teach kids the magic C, which is basically the letter C, because that's the foundation of like all of the rounded letters, like all the lowercase letters, forwards and backwards. And you want big lines and little lines, and then you put those all together and you form your letters. So when you teach kids to like write the letter O, you actually start it at like 2:00 because you make a C and then you complete it. It gets your hand ready for all the other letters that you need to make. So like
Kirby's having an existential crisis right now.
Yeah, you know what? After giving this some more thought, I'm pretty sure that I normally do it the correct way.
I'm sure he does.
I think it's because you guys put me on the spot.
So the other
I
point
apologize.
is
Yeah, okay.
we teach children these skills top to bottom, left to right, because that's how we read and that's how we write. So you want to like prime their little brains to do everything top to bottom, left to right,
Okay.
if that's at all possible.
Well, when
So-
it comes to the A, that's wrong.
So there's a song that we sing with the children. Where do you start your letters? At the top. Where do you start your letters? At the top. And it goes on and on.
So it's
and
like a
on.
cult, is what you're saying.
Basically, and we teach them, we use Handwriting Without Tears. It's like a program, and we teach them how to make Matman. He's pretty cool. You make him with a couple of
doubt
big
it. I
C's.
doubt it.
Oh no, the kids love Matman. They
Sure
think
they
he's
do.
great. They think he's great.
Batman.
Matman has one head, one head, one head.
Boy, these songs are really
Matman
lame.
has one head so that he can think.
These are
Still better than that Baby Shark song.
Yeah.
I think these are the things that made me hate school. Like these lame ass songs and stuff. And the teachers are like, "Doo, doo, 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 doo," and I'm like, please get me out of here. And now I know they taught me the wrong way to write an A,
They didn't.
which is,
They taught you the correct way.
I don't know, not my school. It's possible. If that is the correct way, I want nothing to do with it. That's an extra step. It's an extra step.
Here's a question.
How do you write your V? Do you write your V like
Top to bottom, top to bottom.
If
you
that's
draw
wr-
one line
if that's
diagonal
wrong,
and then
I don't wanna
stop
be
and
right.
draw the other line diagonal?
Sure do.
No, you don't.
Sure
This
do.
is crazy. No, you don't.
What's wrong with you?
Thank you, Reggie. What's wrong with
Which
you?
is why my handwriting is so
I mean, that
much
could have been for
nicer
either
than
one of you.
yours.
Listen, I'm not debating that your handwriting is nicer, but I could write like nicely still doing the method that I do now. This is wrong. This is so wrong. Yeah, Giant Reggie, everybody does the V in one stroke because only animals do it 2 strokes. What the hell's the point of that?
Wait, like that?
That's what she's saying. She does one line and
Oh.
then stops and draws the other. No, come on now.
I definitely don't do that.
That's so wrong. That's so wrong.
B. You don't. Oink. That's a check mark. Oink.
What do you mean?
That's a check
No
mark.
one starts it like that when they're writing it. Why would you start 75% of the way down? No, you start where it's supposed to. Yes, exactly.
No, B.
Oh man, this is terrible. Well, let's move into some
A.
Nintendo news because this is not going to get solved. I can't even believe.
Are
this
you
is a
ready for me to
conversation.
blow your mind?
No.
M.
Okay.
N.
Hold on. You're screwing with me. You don't write an M like that.
Yeah.
You need to go to the doctor. That's wrong.
N. Boink. Easy peasy.
N and M are some of the most fun letters to write, and that's how you're doing it? Wolf is like, what? Hi, Joseph64. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us on the scripting podcast.
Like that if you wanted.
No, give me the damn paper. Give me the paper, and then we have to move on. I could talk about this all day. This is how you write an M. That's an M.
That's a lowercase m, and it's even wrong then.
How is it a lowercase M?
You're so no.
Well, you want me to do it like this?
Well, because it's all lumpy.
There.
Yeah, you gotta make it pointy.
Calligraphy with GoNintendo. Well, this is horrifying. I think we have to break up.
Knuckles.
Yeah, because you're a weirdo. Here's the real thing. Your way is correct. My way is also correct. If somebody can look at the letter and know what it is, then you're good to go.
At the end of
really,
the day,
it's all pointless because cursive is
Did you ever have OT as a kid?
What's OT?
Occupational therapy?
No.
You didn't have to go see a special teacher and do like fun things with tongs and pom-poms?
No.
No?
No, I'm just superior.
Did you ever have to go to speech as a kid?
Yes. I think a lot of kids had to go to speech, though.
How old were you?
1st grade.
Which was too young for the record.
Well, it worked because I don't say spaghetti anymore. Well, I do secretly. All right. Thanks so much for that conversation, my brain. It was enlightening and also horrifying. I appreciate it. See, that's what happens when we get the Pokemon out of the way. We get to talk about that.
I like that you're both horrified by each other.
Out of the two
What
of us,
keeps us
who
going.
has better handwriting?
I know you do. 100%.
Oh, I'm just
yes.
saying. I'm just saying.
But it doesn't have it. Like, I could write beautifully. I just write quickly. Like, I can take my time and write nicely. What are you looking at?
What happened?
I mean, at least I can read your handwriting.
Cuticles.
I know some adults that like try to like
like
write
if
their
I,
name and it's like scribbles.
Like that's like real fast writing. If I like took my time.
Oh yeah,
it
this
would
is
look
very
better.
sloppy. This
Yeah,
is like
it wouldn't look nice,
is a
but it would,
C-
it would
at
look
best.
better.
Yeah, you're definitely getting a needs improvement on your report card.
All right. Anyway. Oh my God, this handwriting
I'm
conversation.
gonna write needs improvement, but I'm probably gonna like write some of the letters incorrectly.
This handwriting conversation bleeds right into the first top story, believe it or not.
I'm so pleased.
Brain training is coming back, and it's coming to the
nice.
Switch. A brand new brain training is coming to the Switch. Now, it hasn't been confirmed for North America and Europe yet. Obviously, it will go to those regions, but as of right now, it's only announced for Japan, and it's coming out December 27th. And it is a little bit of classic Brain Age and a little bit of new Brain Age. And no joke, thank you, Ala Wolf. I know this podcast isn't for everyone, but the people that like it seem to like it, and I know I like doing it. So hopefully you enjoy. If you're listening, right?
It's not fun.
If you like listening to this podcast, then thank you. Hello, Brettman79. Hello, Joe Shabadoo. You made it in. Good to see you. Joe Shabadoo, I'll give you the special thank you today. Joe Shabadoo is a brand new Patreon member. He joined the Patreon today. I got an email and it said Joe, and I was like, oh, what? And I clicked the email and I was like, oh my God, it's Joe Shabadoo. So I sent him a nice little message over on Patreon. I'm trying to message people as soon as they join the Patreon now because the emails come in, and if I'm in email like almost all day. So if I catch it, I'm sending you a message. By the way, it's not an automated message. It's honestly me messaging you. It's not. Wouldn't that be gross if it was like you have a Patreon and people are joining and you send them an automated message being like, "Oh, thanks so much for the support," and everybody gets that message. I'm like, come on, that's a little bit lame. It's got to be a little more personal than that. Anyway, thanks, Joe Shabadoo. You're the special thank you for Patreon today. Hello, Laxter. Thanks for joining. Everybody's getting in here. Also about the Patreon, we have a special exclusive Patreon feature because I have been saying I wanted to do something over there that was exclusive for the Patreon gang to show them my love and support. And I said it wouldn't be anything news related or anything that would take away from regular GoNintendo because that would be unfair and not right. It's just superfluous stuff. So what are we doing over there? I have started a Let's Play. And hello, Antonio. Hello, Shillelagh. I have started a Let's Play on Demon's Crest. And it's Kirby, it's my first time playing Demon's Crest.
Oh, really?
Yes. So it's a Let's Play series of me doing Demon's Crest. So it's me talking and playing. The first episode is up now. I think it's about 20 minutes. I have the second episode recorded. So we're doing that funness over on Patreon. And I honestly really liked recording it because I'm like, this is only going to people who genuinely, honestly care about this content and like what I do. So it's, working with an audience that's great. So that's what's going on Patreon. I don't know how often I'm going to post those episodes. I feel like I enjoy doing them. I kind of want to do them like all the time, but I feel like maybe one a week is the way to go with it. I don't know. Anyway, Brain Age on the Switch. So it features the old stuff like, add the numbers and circle the numbers. But we're also getting like an official Switch stylus as well.
Wasn't your dad into the original one for a little while?
And he was like 30. His brain was like 30 years older than what he was. Remember, my mom was like
what it is now.
10 years younger. Oh, forget it. They're gonna be like, he's brain dead.
Does this man have a pulse?
Astravania, did I curse? Did I say the S bomb? I don't think I
wasn't
did.
paying attention.
I didn't hear it.
I might have. I apologize for that. Quite a few times. No. I don't. Oh! Not today. Yeah, in the Patreon video. Yes.
Whoa! That's what you pay for.
You pay for the curses. I was like, today. I didn't curse today. Yeah, in the Patreon, I'm just speaking unfiltered. That's usually the worst curse I say somewhat frequently. The S bomb. Anyway, the new features in Brain Age. They always had the rock, paper, scissors thing in Brain Age, but now the rock, paper, scissors thing uses the IR camera. So, the game shows you either rock, paper, or scissors, and you have to quickly defeat it. But now you will hold your hand in front of the Joy-Con IR camera to actually make the rock, the paper, or the scissors, which is really cool. And there's also another game about like counting birds, I think it is, how many birds or bird colors there are and things like that. And we've only seen like the first commercial and trailer, so there's a lot more to learn about the game. But yes, it is coming out December 27th in Japan. And there is the option to get it with the official stylus if you would like. You can also get the stylus individually from the Japanese My Nintendo store if you'd rather that. That's right, Rob. Every number is here. Brain Age has every number. So hopefully we get the announcement soon for North America and Europe. If it's coming out that late in Japan, I don't think we're going to get it until next year, but we'll see what happens. Autumnal Blake has first comment, and they say, I love Brain Age. I don't doubt it will come here, but I do hope it does, complete with the classic style of not hiring graphic designers. I'm looking forward to this. On the DS, the piano game actually helped me learn to sight read. Wow. The piano game is back, he says. Big nostalgia on that one. The first Brain Age is one of the first games I ever owned on my first system. I'm so excited for this. Look, think about that. Autumnal Blake's first system was the DS. Mom Brain.
Yeah.
Tell me DS launch day. What did we do? Let us.
We went to Perkins.
Very good.
We went to the mall and we went to Perkins with. I know JTS was there.
Mm-hmm.
Was Nikki Hill there?
Mm-hmm.
Kirby.
I don't think so.
Well, I remember going to Perkins for the launch of the DSi. Or
Yeah, we definitely did it more than once.
Yeah.
it almost became like a tradition for handheld system launches, I guess.
Yeah. Back when we would go to GameStop and get them.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in Perkins with all of us drawing inappropriate things in Picto Chat.
Yeah.
Those were the days, man. Mom Brain,
What?
how long ago did the first Brain Age come out?
I'm going to say at least 11 years ago.
It came out 14 years ago.
Wow.
Can you believe that? 14 years ago.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. We're not doing that. Game Freak has once again said that the Pokemon that are cut from Pokemon Sword and Shield will return in future games. Obviously, they didn't say what games or when. As we've talked about at great length, Pokemon Sword and Shield are not going to include every single Pokemon. This is the first time a mainline Pokemon game is not going to include all the Pokemon. So those Pokemon aren't going to be forgotten. They're just not appearing this time. And they're talking about like Pokemon Bank and stuff like that, and Pokemon will live on and all that. They've said before that the Pokemon are coming back, and I guess they just want to reiterate that people shouldn't be sad just because your favorite Pokemon isn't going to be there. But yeah, as far as when they're actually going to return, who the hell knows? First comment comes from oh boy. Well, oh man, there's people very angry, obviously. So I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna skip it. Okay, I'll read this. So Rift Silver has the top-rated comment, and he says there's a whole interview thing that he's quoting, and he says, "This is important as I feel a lot of people have continually complained about Pokemon becoming stale. Yet it's the support of all previous Pokemon that have seemingly caused the games to remain stale instead of implementing new ideas. Game Freak took a risk, but I think it's going to pay off." I mean, as I've said in the past, they had to make this move at some point. They had you can't have Pokemon games 10 years from now where they have thousands of Pokemon and they have to take the time to put every single one of them in the game. I know that's not a popular opinion, but the games would just take longer and longer and longer and longer to make. And that time would be spent on putting the Pokemon in the game rather than adding in new features, creating new content, making new regions and stuff like that. So I think it's something that has to happen. So it is what it is. When these Pokemon will return and how they'll return and what we'll see done with them, I honestly don't know. But I hope, for the sake of you listening, that your favorite Pokemon makes it into the game. No, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. So, Overwatch is coming to the Switch. It comes out October 15th. And if you plan on playing it on the Switch, you're going to have all... Hi, Joe. Joe, I'm sorry I got your message and I couldn't stop to answer. I was going to text you something in a second. I apologize. But thanks for struggling to make it here. Overwatch is coming to Switch, and you're going to have a whole bunch of different ways to play because you have the traditional control options, but you also have motion controls. You're going to have a whole bunch of different motion control options, which, I mean, I don't think I'm wrong in saying this. The majority of Nintendo fans like motion controls when they're implemented because they
keep making statements about like majority of any kind of group of people.
Okay. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that a lot of people appreciate motion controls. How about that?
I think that's safe.
Incorrect.
Not
we don't
correct.
We don't like motion controls.
I mean, I don't think you would not use motion controls if you were given the choice.
Yeah, probably not.
You probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm all about it. Like if I'm
look, my motion.
What's wrong with you?
I don't move in predictable ways 80% of my life. Like I'm klutzy, I fall. My hands don't work right. I can hardly I can't catch stuff.
I want that on the soundboard.
Really though, I mean,
Yes, I know. When you play games, yes. Okay, let me
In
say what
life,
you
I'm
want
a
me to
klutz.
say. In regular life, you
Yeah.
go crazy. Now, if you let me finish, when you play games, you're already extra jazzed up as it is. So
Yeah.
adding that into your normal random body movements,
Yeah,
yes, it
it's-
would make for trouble. Did you play
Although I
Skyward Sword?
yes, I beat it.
Well, then you're fine. What's your complaint?
I mean, it wasn't easy.
Is that the one where you're standing up in
Yep.
front of the TV?
Sure was.
Oh, that's right.
Motion controls, baby.
Giant Reggie says,
Baby.
"My brain predictably moves her hands for handwriting." Though, yes, that is correct.
Well, that's
That's serious
That's
business.
fine motor, not gross motor. Gross motor
Oh
is not
no,
my
I
jam.
would say it's gross.
It's Michael
But yeah,
Gross.
for like something like let's say Fortnite, for example, having the having the gyro adjustments in there, micro adjusto, so you can slightly move the controller to make minuscule adjustments to your reticle, rather than having to just nudge the joystick a little bit to aim where you want. I don't like, for me personally, hello Brian, it hands down is better than a traditional joystick for those little minor adjustments. And there are other games that use motion controls that I really like too. Like I love the stuff that was in Skyward Sword. I thought that was really well implemented, and Skyward Sword was built around using motion controls for the entire experience. So I think that's why it worked well. Somebody in the chat I saw, let me, who was it? I apologize. Someone in the chat said Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, there's a good example of motion controls where I'm like, whatever. I played with motion controls on, but I wasn't like, yeah, these are great. Like these add to the experience. I didn't think that they did. So as long as motion controls, are implemented well and make sense, then I think they're superior, can be superior to traditional controls. But yeah, games that, especially, there were plenty of games on the Wii that were just like waggle to, I don't know, spin, do an attack or whatever. Yeah, I don't like that stuff. But Overwatch will have a whole litany of motion control options for those who like to use those. But obviously, if you don't, you can just go with traditional controls. Now, where did the idea for motion controls come from? According to Blizzard, it was Nintendo who suggested them. They say controls for the Switch version of Overwatch. No, they say it came about early on with our initial discussions with Nintendo. They expressed how it was a popular feature on Switch and encouraged us to investigate. A few of us were a little skeptical at first, but after doing a bunch of research and experimenting with various implementations, it really grew on us. I think most people who spend time learning controls really like it a lot. And that's the thing. I think there's a ton of people, even in the game industry, who don't like motion controls, but haven't really experienced the game with good motion controls. They just think of some little mini game that they played on Wii or some other experience where the motion controls were just like shoehorned in there. They're not thinking of the games that really take the time to implement them well and actually elevate the gameplay. Because again, I think it can really do that. Yes, Mombri?
Can I ask a question? And I'm not. This is really just
How do you write
an
your
honest
cue?
question. You start at the top. Do you think that there are people who think that motion controls are like the casual gamer way to play things?
Yes.
And that's why they don't do it?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
100%. I'd say a lot of people are probably like that. They think motion controls are just for people who don't know how to play games.
But I could argue that would be for the people who are a little more fine-tuned. Like, I can't have that many options. I need to be like, A does this, B does that. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, see,
I could argue that it's like, it's more open-ended, and that's what casual gamers don't need.
This is you were playing Control, and you are not used to the PS4 controller at all.
Yeah.
Starting from like scratch with Control, would you rather have had motion controls for some things? Would that have made more sense than learning the whole layout of the controller?
I'm not sure. I think I would like the option. I'd like to try it and see how it feels to me.
Yes.
I don't know. I can't say for sure. I just, I hate when, and I guess that's just the way it goes, when controls get in the way of story.
That's just the way it is.
So if motion control helped break that barrier down, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for options for people, period. Like under any and all circumstances, if possible, I like for people to have options so that whatever the experience is, they can have it without something getting in the way.
Yeah.
And like accessibility could be an issue for some people, where like motion control would be a terrible idea for some people who can't like manage their hands and arms making subtle movements.
But that
So,
also
like,
goes for traditional buttons too.
right, absolutely. So I'm all for people having choice if that's possible. And is it like a big deal for developers to like
Hi,
give those options? Is it a lot of work?
Thanks for joining. I mean, I've never done it, but yeah, it's more than just adding in button controls. You know, push a button that does this. Reading motion data and gyro data is different than just pushing a button. Gyroscope. Somebody said, Roth says Resident Evil 4 on Wii was a great example of third-person shooting using the IR sensor. Yeah, I really liked that. That was a ton of fun. I played Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube when it first came out, but I replayed it on the Wii because I really liked pointing with the IR sensor to aim. It added in something cool. And I think you did I think there was motion controls for like the knife, which was just like a waggle. So that's a good example of motion controls that added something to the experience, as well as motion controls that didn't add anything to the experience. So, yeah, Joe says Metroid Prime 3 was also good. Yes, that integrated motion controls in some really cool ways too. Yeah, so it can be done. But yes, unfortunately, I feel there's a lot of quote-unquote hardcore gamers who see motion controls as like what babies and grandmas use. So.
Yeah, filthy casuals playing on their Fisher Price baby toys.
That's right. Giant Reggie.
And crapping in their diapers.
On the article says, motion controls is a pretty divisive topic, but personally, I really like the Breath of the Wild Splatoon approach, where the thumbsticks do coarse aiming and gyro does fine adjustments. It just feels natural to me. Even before motion controls become relatively standard, you see lots of people tilting controllers to aim and turn. Good to see some third parties are taking that into account and putting in the extra work to provide gyro aiming control options here. Yeah, that's a great one that I didn't even think to mention. Breath of the Wild with motion controls, I feel, is the way to play. I'm not going to tell anybody that they're playing it incorrectly if they only use regular controls. But yeah, for bow and arrow and all the other aiming, I found it so much easier and so much more precise to go with motion controls, because with a joystick, you're making little, micro adjustments that are just like very rigid adjustments. But with motion controls, you have a much more they have much more of a flow to them. Yeah, bow and arrow and any of the aiming in Breath of the Wild, hands down, I use motion controls. Like, no question asked. It would be very hard for me to go back to aiming with just joysticks. Hello, Cam Halen. Thanks for joining us. Cam Halen says the hardcore gamers are just mad because they can't aim a real gun. So, yeah, the motion control debate will continue on, obviously. There's no right or wrong answer. I just wish people would take the approach of, I like that motion controls are in there because it lets those people play in a way that they like to play. And it doesn't hurt me because I can play with traditional controls. But instead, they're just like, motion controls, garbage.
And like, can we just, for a minute, step back and talk about what we're talking about? Like, it's gaming, and it should be fun.
Excuse me? Gaming is a serious business. Gamers rise up.
I'm not saying that it's not important.
Mountain Dew. Doritos.
I'm just saying.
Is that what gamers rise up means?
Gamer fuel. It's their gamer fuel.
Oh.
It's what gets them to rise up.
Gotcha.
Like in their pants?
Their blood sugar.
It gets them to rise up and run to the bathroom.
I just, you know what I mean?
Sorry.
Like, it should be fun. It should be fun. That's what games are for.
No, games are serious.
Games are serious business.
Well, I understand that like competitive gaming is like, running for me is for fun. But
I mean, Kirby and I just
running.
keep saying this and you're not listening. Games are business. Serious business. You can't have fun with games. Untitled Goose Game,
no fun
serious
allowed.
Business.
You mess with the hunk, you get the bonk.
There we go. So,
it's my new favorite thing.
PC from the podcast PC sent me an image of the goose from Untitled Goose Game, and she said, I'm sending this to you because I know Mom Brain's asleep, but she needs to see this. And it was a picture of the goose from Untitled Goose Game, and it said, you mess with the hunk, you get the bonk. And he's holding like a bat in his mouth. So I showed it to Mom Brain. She loved it, and unfortunately now that's all I've been hearing. Plus, she has smacked me in the head a couple times when she told me.
With a baseball bat?
No, not
Okay.
yet.
I mean,
not
like,
yet.
I'm not doing it out of anger. I'm just,
Yeah,
you know.
just like bonk.
Yeah. Maybe like a little harder.
Joe
than-
says, "Oh my God, what was Untitled Goose Game's name you gave it last podcast? Did we give it a name? I know
Well,
they were going to call it Some Like It Hunk, but they decided against
That's
that.
pretty good.
But I don't
Right?
remember if we also had a name.
No.
Gun titled Hoos something. Oh, it's Some Like It Hunk. That's what I was thinking about. Okay, anyway, moving on. Pokemon Sword and Shield, very quickly, I will say this. All the developers, all the teams that are working on it, all the marketing people, all the localization teams, when you put them all together, according to Game Freak's Shigeru Omori, he says that there's close to 1,000 people involved with making Pokemon Sword and Shield happen. 1,000 people are working on that game. That is crazy. A project that requires 1,000 people cooperating together to see release. I don't even understand how that happens. I don't get it. It's crazy that these things actually come out. And could you imagine if they were doing all the Pokemon? Way more people. Take a lot more time. Unbelievable. That's a great name. Unbelievable says
That's unbelievable.
Oh, he's angry. He says all those people and they can't get the national decks in place. What a joke. Well, again, of those 1,000 people, not all of them are developers. There's hundreds that are just working on localization and marketing and distribution and testing, and they're not all developers. Developers.
Well,
Super Mario Maker 2 got an update, and it's the update we've been waiting for. I saw you hit it.
I got it.
Son of a bitch.
Mom Brain has trouble with touchscreens too. Whenever we're at like
the bank.
the bank or using like any ATM or whatever, or like McDonald's, they have their fancy new touchscreen menus. She'll go to touch it, never works. First time for her, never works ever.
I think my hands are just cold
Dead.
all the time.
Dead.
Yeah.
It's they probably have been worn out from meticulously writing letters for so long. They just got no life in
Or
them.
knitting.
Lots of high
Am I good
impact
here?
movement.
I know that there are comments about my volume.
You're good today.
People,
Yes,
people
I'm
feel the need to comment about my volume.
I'm very proud of you. I'm commenting on your volume. They are correct.
You want to know the secret?
Secret. I got a secret.
Put a little pillow behind me so I sit forward.
Oh,
I got a nice meemaw.
sneaky.
Notice that. That's a good idea.
Yes, Mom Brain always has trouble with touchscreens, and it's one of it's one of my favorite things to watch because I know it's not going to work when she goes to do it.
And I know he's watching, so then I get anxious.
I love it.
Maybe I don't use the right finger. I often will use my middle finger. You know, this one.
I mean, I think all the fingers work. Anyway, Super Mario Maker 2 has gotten an update to version 1.1.0, and it's the update we were all waiting for because it lets you play online with friends. You can finally play online co-op with friends or compete against friends. That is something that everybody wanted there from day one. When we heard it wasn't a feature, we all got mad, and Nintendo said they were working on an update for it. Obviously, the update took a little bit longer than we expected, but it is out now, and it is for free. So if you've been holding out on playing Super Mario Maker Online because you wanted to do so with friends, your time is now, just as John Cena would say. Autumnal Blake says, this game has massively died down, so I think this is too little and too late. I'm very surprised we haven't gotten any new content yet. That said, I do love online versus, so hit me up in the Discord server if you want to play a match or two. I was purposefully waiting for this update to come out to get into online play. So now I'm going to be reaching out to people who want to get this game or who have this game to play online with them. I was just patiently waiting. I mean, there's so much to play in general. But yeah, getting into a 2D multiplayer online Mario game, I'm all about it. I can definitely have fun with that. So I'm looking forward to it. Virtuous, who has ported many a Switch game, and is currently working on bringing The Outer Worlds to the Switch, which is a game I still can't believe is coming to the Switch. They say this project is pushing the limits of what the Switch can do. Virtuous, in a game industry interview, said... This requires creative thinking when it comes to frame rate and memory optimization, especially for the larger maps and complex environments. We have a strong team of technical artists who are rearranging and streamlining workflow, and we've set up a very important place in the room, which is basically a table with TV sets where we constantly cross-compare the Switch SKU with other versions. We are excited about our progress because we feel that we're pushing the limits of what is possible on the Switch. I'm very excited to see what they can do. There were plenty of people who thought Witcher 3 couldn't happen on Switch. Well, it's coming out this month. Well, it comes out soon. Was it the 15th or something like that? And yes, it does not look as good as the other versions, but I'll be damned if it doesn't look good. So developers can really work some magic with the Switch. And I think the Outer Worlds is going to potentially test it even more than Witcher 3. We haven't seen what Outer Worlds looks like on Switch yet. But obviously, the aim is to get it as close to parity as possible. It'll be parity as far as mechanics and gameplay goes from what we've heard. But yeah, visuals, it'll be interesting to see a side-by-side comparison. When are we going to see that? Who the hell knows? They haven't said. But Autumnal Blake says, if only more developers would feel this way. It's an interesting point about the younger install base of the Switch. While a lot of companies may see this as a reason to avoid creating content for the platform, it is a great way to get new players into a series. It is. It certainly is. And some developers are realizing that, which is important. Mom Brain, I have great news. Oh, we got to talk about this.
Oh, God.
The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is the fastest selling Switch game in all of Europe for 2019. And just today we learned that it moved 430,000 copies across Europe in its first 72 hours. And Mom Brain, it's time for you to play the game.
Okay.
You, Link, are the hero.
I'm so excited for you to play it, and I thought you were going to jump on it when I told you it's got Twin Peaks connections.
Listen.
Linda, listen.
I was not home before 8 o'clock any night this past week. My life has been a little busy. I got a lot going on. And I want to be able to enjoy the game in longer than 10-minute little snippets of time. I want to give it what it deserves. Tomorrow's Sunday. Maybe I'll find some time tomorrow.
What about today?
I might need to take a nap if we're going to go to the movies later.
We don't have to go to the movies tonight.
I want to go to the movies.
Oh, boy.
To the movies.
Then you're putting the stress on yourself. Like, we don't have to go tonight. We don't have to go tomorrow.
I want to go tonight.
Hot damn tonight.
I want to go to the movies tonight.
Are you coming to the movies with us?
Can I come?
Of course.
Okay.
What are we seeing?
I don't know what's playing.
Lube mentioned going to Peaburg, and I was like, ugh, I'm not going to that theater anymore.
Don't be like that.
Wait, what's wrong with
Don't be
Peaburg?
like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's just not
Did something happen?
No,
it's not
she's
as
just
nice
all
as
tight
the
and
new
Lux
one.
now. Like, oh. I mean, don't get me wrong. Tight Lux is way better in every way, shape, and form.
Yeah.
But.
And the last time I went to Peaburg, when we went to see Good Boys, it grossed me out a little. The seats were like grody.
Let's be fair here. The seats in all movie theaters are gross. You never go to a movie theater where you're like, I feel clean.
Like, I'm going to put my face on this.
Yeah, right. Can't wait to eat off of this chair.
I'm a Titan Lux gal. The whole experience there's something about it I like.
I'm a Titan Lux gal.
Whatever. Call me a snob.
I mean, it sounds a little snobbish
It's just
to me.
the whole experience is... Am I wrong? Am I like really that far off?
Are you asking, is the experience better at that theater than Peaburg?
You can get a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
get a
I don't care.
drink.
I'm going to the movies to see a movie.
I am too, but like it feels so nice and relaxing to be able to like.
Yes, the chairs are better. I get that. Yes, but I wouldn't ever.
We don't have chairs that nice in our home.
I mean, that's true. They are like powered recliners. Yeah,
and they're like double
Coma.
wides, so I don't have to like touch you.
Wow,
that's the most important
during the
part.
movie.
Wow. Well, anyway, moving on. No,
I don't mean that.
Don't touch me. Link's Awakening. I hope you play it, but apparently,
Yeah, I'll play it.
You've been a busy lady.
Listen,
Squadala, we are off.
I'll play it when we're done with the podcast. I'll have a little schmacko, make some tea, and I'll play Link's Awakening
Yes.
until it's time to go.
Colma, the podcast was about to get started, and the cat disconnected my USB hub from the laptop, so I had to do everything over again. And now he's sleeping on the chair next to me. I don't want to say his name because I'll wake him up.
Oh yeah.
But I'm terrified he's just going to wake up and like jump at the USB thing again.
So did it actually disconnect, or did he just like step on it? And
He stepped on it but disconnected it. Yeah.
Okay.
That was because I heard the noise and went boo-doo-doo, and the camera on the laptop froze in that spot. And when I went to go like check the microphone, that's connected on the other side so people could still hear us. But camera froze, and it screwed up Audacity as well. So hello, Pixelrific. Thanks for joining us. Pixelrific about the cat says, "He who shall not be named." Anyway, goddamn it, Link's Awakening, 430,000.
Meow.
430,000 sold in Europe in the first 72 hours. So obviously a lot more have been sold since then. And well deserved. Glad to see people all over Europe coming out for this game because it's a great one. Sean Snokta says, hopefully its success leads to similar remakes of the Oracle games. They have the engine and assets now. Make it happen. Like Majora's Mask. Just optimize the engine so it runs at a constant 60 frames per second. Yes, I would imagine even fewer people played Oracle of Ages and Seasons. I'm sure they sold millions, but I would guess that Link's Awakening sold better. Kirby, have you played Oracle of Ages or Seasons?
I might have played a little bit of one of them.
Oh,
I forget which one.
You gonna try and make him feel guilty?
There you go. There's one right there. Mom Brain,
Yeah,
have you
sorry.
played Oracle of Ages and Seasons?
I have them
Nope.
on my 3DS.
There you go. There's another one. Yes, as Colma says in the chat, Oracle games were developed by Capcom, as was Minish Cap. Capcom did Minish Cap.
That's right.
Man, what a crazy thing that was.
What, Capcom making Zelda games?
Yeah. Like, I know Nintendo was obviously working with them, but like, that wasn't... that wasn't something we really talked about at the time, but now multiple teams are working on Zelda games. Shillelagh posted a Simpsons screen cap in the Discord related to Untitled Goose Games. It's Pauly Shore and Faye Dunaway in
Honk if you're horny.
If You're Horny. I knew you would remember. That's great. Moving on. Game Freak says they considered doing a Virtual Boy game, but they didn't get the chance to do it because the Virtual Boy died before they could work on anything. Game Freak's Junichi Masuda said that, yes, the team was considering working on a Virtual Boy game, but by the time they actually got around to having time to develop the game, they say the system was on its way out. So, alas, it was never meant to be. Did that game end up going to another platform? Did that game end up turning into something else? Did that game never come to fruition in any way, shape, or form? We don't know. They didn't say. Masuda also took a point to say that as far as the Virtual Boy goes, he really liked the platform. And you know what? I really like the Virtual Boy too. Is it a good system? No. But I really enjoy it. I love the quirkiness of it. I really think Wario Land Virtual Boy is amazing. That the fact, as I've said before, the fact that that game has never gotten ported to any other platform is beyond crazy to me. And it's even crazier when I think about it not going to the 3DS. I don't understand at all how Nintendo did not port that to the 3DS. Your other system that does 3D, that would be like day one to me. A game in the Wario Land franchise that hardly anybody played because of the system it's on, and you don't give it a second chance at life on the 3DS, a system that can do 3D without glasses. What? I don't understand it. I have had interviews with Nintendo where I brought that up, and I just like laugh evilly. Not evilly. Autumnal Blake's. Oh, go ahead. I know what you're going to do. They laughed evilly. Autumnal Blake again says, I think Pokemon is much better suited to standard 3D than VR. It's a shame they ditched that on the 3DS. Having a more downward angled view of the world is better for the way most Pokemon games are designed. Plus, getting into a wild battle and oh boy, I never know how to say this Pokemon. The rat one. Jumping out at your face in first person would be quite the harrowing experience.
I think his name is Rathu.
Rathu, I'm sorry.
Rathu.
Rathu. I choose you, Rathu.
Rathu is my favorite name. Rathu.
Just in general?
Yeah.
Rat.
Would you name a child
Rat
Rathu?
is short for
Sure.
Rathu.
I would love to get a cat and name it Rathu.
Rob says Rathaniel.
Oh, wait, why wouldn't you name the cat Cathu? I guess because that kind of sounds like cashew.
Yeah.
Has
yeah.
anybody named their cat Cathu? That's
I'm
a great
sure.
idea.
I'm sure.
Moving on. Mario Kart Tour, which launched on mobile devices on September 25th, in its first week, managed to move 90 million units. 90 million units in 1 week.
Wow, I am impressed.
So am I, fake Woody, whatever that guy's name is.
Fake Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks' brother.
Tam Honks. Thanks, Tam Honks. And that is unique downloads too. Now, we can't say that people didn't have multiple devices where they downloaded it, but still unique downloads. The information comes from, I think it was Sensor Tower. They say 90 million unique downloads in the first week, Nintendo's fastest mobile game launch in its history, 6 times greater than the company's second best launch, which was Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. And then they get into revenue and split between devices and all that stuff. If you want to know the device split, Android is more popular. 53 million Android users downloaded the game versus 36 million iOS users. And then all that jazz. So yes, lots of people have downloaded the game. I am one of them. Have I played it? No. Haven't had time to play it.
I can't believe you haven't played it.
I mean, I run a Nintendo site. You're right to say that.
And you're on your phone like 24/7.
Am I really?
Yeah.
Explain.
The other day we were in the car going to the comic book store on your night off, and I was talking to you and I was like, "Are you listening to me?" And you were like, "Yes."
What did I say?
You said yes, you were doing something for work. I'm
Yes.
not saying you're on your phone for pleasure. I'm
That's
just saying
the
you're
thing,
on your
yeah.
phone.
I was doing work emails.
You people come with us on Raw Meets Night Off.
Colma said he's hooked to Mario Kart Tour. Top rated comment comes from number 224, and he says Untitled gross game because he's not happy with the game. You know what? Because Colma is in the chat right now. Wait a minute. I want to check something. Yes. Okay. Because Colma's in the chat right now, he sent us a tip on a news story, and I'm gonna read you the story.
Whoa.
It's about Google and Pokemon Company teaming up for something called Pokemon Wave Hello, which is a demo that showcases Google's new tech that they're working on. So they have this new tech that's called Soli. It's an experimental Google project with new sensing tech that makes use of miniature radar to detect touchless gesture interactions. And this is going to be put into the Google Pixel 4 and the Pixel 4 XL. So to show off this new tech and to have people interact with it, for whatever reason, Google was like, hey, let's work with Pokemon Company and we'll make some kind of demo. So the demo features Pikachu, Scorbunny, Sobble, Grookey, and Eevee, and it lets you interact with them using gestures. It seems like this is going to be something that will be made available to the public once these two phones are out, because in the demo itself, there's basically like logos and advertising for Pokemon Sword and Shield. And if you're just using that as a demo for press, you're not going to worry about that kind of stuff. So it seems like, yes, this will be something people will be able to download and interact with. So if you check out the post, you can see a whole bunch of footage of what this demo actually looks like. And it's pretty interesting. Autumnal Blake says, an interesting gimmick, but nothing more than that. It won't add anything of note to any Pokemon games. Well, I think it's more supposed to be a showcase of tech using Pokemon rather than something that evolves the Pokemon franchise. Europe. What did our friends in Europe get? They got Light Seeker's Adventure Bundle, Chop is Dish, yeah, Lanternium, Soul Slayer, 80 Days, Super Crate Box, Sniper Elite 3 Ultimate Edition, SpookyGhosts.com, Tic Tac Letters by Paugy, Fault Milestone 1, Hexagroove Tactical DJ, Cubix, Case Animatronics. What? Case Animatronics. All that is for that game. Candleman. Galaxy Champions TV, which is basically Smash TV. The press release for this game even says, "Good luck, you'll need it," which is directly from Smash TV. NeoCab, Arcade Archives Karate Champ, Community Inc., Teddy Gangs. Teddy Gangs?
Like as in teddy bears?
The toy factory that made the best teddies in the world has gone crazy. All the teddies have escaped and have become evil, and you are the only one who can stop them taking over the world. Teddy Gangs is a fun, fast action
Did you
fighting
just say
game.
titty gangs?
Titty Gangs. Where you have to beat the fluff out of any teddy that dares to challenge you. So be ready to stand up to the hordes of evil teddy bears, but be warned, this is not going to be a fluffy affair. It just said you beat the fluff out of them. How's it not going to be a fluffy affair? One Night Stand.
Sounds like a Mad Libs, a fluffy affair.
One Night Stand is available. Soul Knight, Beats Runner, Rhyme Land,
Where you grow beets.
Hammer of Thor, The Tiny Bang Story, and there will be no jokes after that. Ghostbusters, the video game remastered. You know, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world.
Okay.
Crossnick Plus, and then a whole bunch of DLC. Those European press releases sure know how to go on forever. First comment comes from Guy Bones, and he says 80 Days came out in 2014 and was Time Magazine's #1 game of the year. And Guy Bones says the same year Ollie Ollie came out? Doubtful. I guess he's a big Ollie Ollie fan. In North America, what do we get? We got NeoCab. We got Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. Alliance Alive HD Remastered. Blah, 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 blah. A Winter's Daydream. Aldred, Knight of Honor. Arcade Archives Scramble. Asphalt 9 Legends. Beats Runner. Burger Time Party. Call of Cthulhu. Candleman. Case Animatronics. Community Inc. Crazy Mini Golf Arcade. Crossnick Plus, Cubics, Dodge Hard, Double Switch 25th Anniversary Edition. Yes, you heard me right. Double Switch, the Sega CD game, is getting a 25th Anniversary Edition. It's coming out it's out today. It's out today.
Wait, which one was Double Switch about?
It was like Night Trap, but it was like in a mansion kind of, and you set traps.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, I think I know the one you mean.
it was actually good.
Was it really?
Yes.
Okay.
It was actually good. Night Trap is good for all the wrong reasons. Double Switch is about as good as it gets when it comes to FMV games back then. Since then, we've seen much better FMV games. Fault Milestone 1, Free Cell Solitaire Deluxe, Galaxy Champions TV, Ghostbusters the Video Game Remastered, Hexagroove Tactical DJ, Junior League Sports, Minefield, One Night Stand, Reventure, Rhineland's Hammer of Thor, Soul Slayer, Stellatum, Teddy Gangs, The Tiny Bang Story, Tic Tac Letters by Paugy. I want to say TikTok every time. Trine 4, Trine Ultimate Collection, and also on 3DS this week, Pinball Breakout 4. One Night Stand, Blunners, that is correct. One Night Stand, about having a one night stand. Yeah, I believe it is an award-winning game. Guy Bones went in and made the same comment on both posts about Ollie Ollie. So, okay. Guy Bones is a big fan of Ollie Ollie. This week, I did a review of Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, which is the game I've been dying to talk to you guys about. So if you want to know my thoughts, you can check out my 18-minute review on that game on YouTube. Also, I want to say thanks to Platonic, because Platonic on their official Twitter account tweeted this out. They said, "We loved this video from GoNintendo. We're glad you enjoyed Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, and also that the soundtrack made you cry." Well, thank you, Platonic. I really appreciate that you shared my review like that. That's really cool. I will talk to you more about the game later on in this show. Nintendo, very quickly, Nintendo is hiring for new 2D and 3D projects. They put this out on their official Twitter account in Japan, and both of the projects show Mario. Now, I don't know whether they're saying they're making new 2D and 3D Mario games, or if they're just using Mario as the mascot. But as I said, it's Nintendo, so of course they're making new 2D and 3D Mario games. I just don't know if this is being specific to that. But yes, they're hiring for both projects. So if you like 2D games, Nintendo's got more coming. If you like 3D games, Nintendo's got more coming. The Destructo 94 says, I really hope both of these positions aren't for Mario games. I love Mario, but I would love the 2D game to be a new DK game. Yeah, Retro isn't on board, but Nintendo EAD did do Jungle Beat, and I would love another Nintendo-developed DK game, so us DK fans don't have to continue to wait 8+ years between releases when studios leave or work on other projects. Honestly, if you like DK games, you should get Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. It'll scratch that itch, I promise you. Hey, Mom Brain.
Yeah, dude.
The Pokemon Company president says that Pokemon Go has saved the world $18 billion in medical fees. Did you know that?
Wow.
Let me tell you how he arrived at that number. Pokemon Go players walked 23 billion kilometers in total since the game launched. They're saying that a single step is 0.7 kilometers walked. And players around the world, they know, have taken 32.8 trillion steps while playing Pokemon Go. There's a report by the University of Tsukuba which says that for every step a person takes, they save 0.061 yen in medical fees. So with a little bit of math and some adjustment for yen to dollars, Pokemon Go players worldwide have saved roughly $18 billion in medical fees. I'm sure Pokemon Go players have seen health benefits.
If only there was like a way where people could get medical care for free.
Yeah, do it in your garage.
Like in Europe, in Scandinavia.
That was possible sometime in our future.
Riku KH says, I just like the fact that this is measured with money, but this simply makes this objectively the best game in the world. This is what I've always said. I just think it's cool that people are, obviously improving their health by playing. And I don't think we need to put it in terms of monetary value. I agree with that. But yes, it is cool to see how much people have walked and how many steps they've taken and all that. Very cool. Finally, our last top story. Game Freak said they considered making some other very big changes to Pokemon Sword and Shield, but decided against them. One of the things they were considering changing was moving away from turn-based battles, but they decided not to do that. They said, and they didn't elaborate upon like what they were going to put in place of the turn-based battles. They just said they considered moving away, and then they decided not to. They also talked about changing the number of moves that a Pokemon could use, potentially more or less, but they said they didn't want to do that because of balance concerns. So they were considering some very, very big changes and decided not to do either of them. PSI Wind says, I'm honestly getting really sick of this stigma against turn-based RPGs. Well, I mean, Pokemon is certainly one of the most popular turn-based RPGs, but it is a genre that is intimidating to the average player. So, do
you think people...
Mom Brain, let's just say this very quickly. You're intimidated by turn-based games, correct? Are you getting nervous right now?
Well, here's my thing with those.
The thing is,
I often feel like I would really enjoy RPGs more if I carved out the time for them. Like, I just feel like you can dig down into so many tiny details that my skills as a gamer aren't really good enough to know how to like really drill down into that. You know what I mean? Like it's, and I wonder though, because we're such a like, and I'm part of it. We're such a like now kind of culture that like a turn-based RPG people might find frustrating, and like you have to, they try your patience because you're like waiting on turns, and we're like so not. I don't even wait in line for my coffee anymore. I order it ahead and I just walk in and grab it.
I know, it's your problem. You're like very like agitated about it. When the app didn't work the other day, you're like, oh, I gotta order like a plebe.
Yeah, like it you know. So I wonder if that like has any kind of bearing on like the market.
I will say for me, I've always been intimidated by RPGs because I don't think I'm smart enough to play RPGs properly. But also on top of that,
Well, I'm smart enough, and you've got the gaming skills. So
together. I can play them. I just take my time with them. But also on top of that, I remember as a kid, and still today to some degree, it annoyed me that I would play a game where an enemy would attack and I'd just stand there. Be like, why would I wouldn't do that. In any other game I would move. Why do I just have to stand here and take the hit? And I understand it's the mechanic and part of the like experience of an RPG, a traditional RPG. But yes, on some level today, it still annoys me that is a mechanic. I'd be like, that is not fun to me. I would move out of the way of an attack. But tonight, my plans are to start Dragon Quest XI. I wanted to do it last night. I ended up not having time. But yes, tonight I am going to start Dragon Quest XI. I am making my first steps into that ridiculously long journey. And I'm very excited because every Dragon Quest game I've played, I really enjoyed. But I've only played like the ports to portables. So I never played them on their original systems. And I played, some of the older ones. So I've never played. This is certainly, my first time jumping in on the newest Dragon Quest. So we'll see how it goes.
Good luck.
I am very excited.
Yeah,
I'm honestly very excited. The one thing I do like about RPGs, most traditional RPGs, is that you can take your time. Like when you're in a battle, you can like sift through your options and plan things out and take your time. There's no, like you can take it a little bit easy. Certainly battles get intense and there's important decisions to be made, but it's not like a Twitch. You need Twitch skills,
which you're really good at,
to get into to get into the experience or make your way through the experience. So there, pluses and minuses to every genre. That's just my own crazy thinking. Ella Wolf says, you'll be fine, RMC. Just relax and take your time. That is the plan. I considered doing a Let's Play Dragon Quest XI series for Patreon, but that would be like, I feel like that'd be thousands of installments. I can't do that.
It's a big commitment.
Huge commitment. Start off with Demon's Crest. We're gonna do that, and oh man. Well, anyway, that's it. That's the news for this week. Not bad on time there. Kirby, what have you been playing?
Last week I went down to the Outer Banks, and I brought my Switch with me. And so before I left for the beach, I downloaded Doom and
Like the original Doom.
Yes, the original Doom on the Switch, and also I downloaded Blasphemous.
Oh,
and I played.
You were going for a certain kind of vibe.
Blasphemous.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and I played a little bit of Blasphemous while I was down there, and it's tougher than I was expecting. I mean, I'm not very far, but no, it's pretty interesting.
It is interesting. Yes, It's very interesting, and I think that type of presentation is off-putting to some people, and also they don't want to like dive deep into that kind of like topic. So yeah, it's an interesting title. It's an interesting title for sure.
Yeah, and there are like I've said before, there's lots of games. It seems like there are a lot of games like that, namely Metroidvania games out now. There's there's Hollow Knight, there's Dead Cells, a bunch of others I'm forgetting.
Yeah. Hollow Knight definitely has some of that vibe to it, without a doubt.
Yeah, but I just kind of, I don't know, I almost picked, and I wanted to try one of them, but it's almost like I picked Blasphemous like randomly.
Well, I mean,
also the trailer looked pretty cool.
Oh yeah, like right in the beginning of that game, doesn't he like fill up the mask thing or the
Yeah,
with
and
blood and
like when you after you beat
kill
the first
guy in the
boss.
beginning and you fill it up with his blood and you like put it on your head and it's dripping out of the eyes and everything. Like, holy
Yeah,
moly, this game's crazy.
And that's a really creepy mask too.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah, Mom Brain, you could not play that game.
No, because you play a guy who wears a mask all the time.
Oh no, thank you.
Yeah. So I played a little of that, but I mostly while I was at the shore or at the Outer Banks, I mostly played Doom. I got through the first 2 chapters, and while I was down there, the game received an update.
Oh yeah,
which I was very happy to get because after the update, you're no longer prompted to sign up to Bethesda.net every time you start the game.
Yeah, they said that was a mistake and they were fixing it. Also, it fixed some. This is across all versions. They fixed that issue. Also, across all versions, they fixed up some graphical and audio issues that weren't present in the original version. So,
okay,
you're getting your full classic Doom experience now.
But yeah, not getting that prompt was like, I was like, wow, this is the best update ever for a game.
I got a question, and I don't know if this ever happened.
I don't know the
Perhaps
answer.
it did. How did Bethesda, or how did, I guess, ID Software at the time, never get sued for the music in Doom? Because so many of the songs are straight ripoffs of metal songs.
Yeah, there's one that sounds almost exactly like Master of Puppets, right?
Yeah, like there's like 5 or 6 songs that are just straight up, not just riffs on those tunes, just the song. It's the song.
That's a good question. Maybe, I don't know, this was like the early 90s, maybe because it was like a very low res kind of rendition.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, I'm sure it was more the Wild West then, but nowadays for them to re-release it, like,
oh yeah,
it's like Nintendo with Earthbound. Like there's all kinds of riffs and just straight samples from, Beatles songs and a whole bunch of different like famous artists in that soundtrack. And Nintendo has dealt with certain things to take care of it and even changed some things to skirt those issues. But I don't understand. I don't understand how it happens. I know Nintendo was very worried about it and spent money to take care of it, but with Doom, like the songs are there. It's the same songs.
Yeah, that's a good question, and I don't know.
And I was also thinking about this just a couple days ago. I really appreciate that outside of the classic Doom theme, which is its own song, Doom 2016 goes out of its way to have an original soundtrack.
Yeah, which is
it's so good.
It's very memorable. Yeah,
it's so good. I know I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I don't think I've ever played a game where a soundtrack makes the experience that much more visceral. Because Doom is all about, especially the 2016 one, is all about just like plowing through enemies and going crazy.
Yeah.
And that metal music by whatever that composer is, I forget his name, perfect. Oh my God, it's great. There's the whole soundtrack's great, but there's a few songs in particular where I'm like, oh my God, I was just listening to one of them. And it's just so good. Really, really fits the type of gameplay. I'm so glad he's coming back for the sequel. He's gonna.
Oh, he is. Good.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. And Bethesda was like surprised that they didn't think the music was going to be like a big hit. Like people were clamoring for the soundtrack to release after that. And they were like, man, we knew the soundtrack was good, but we didn't know people were going to go this crazy for it. So it turned into a big thing. So yeah, of course they're bringing that guy back. But anyway, yeah, Doom, classic Doom is still fun.
Oh yeah.
Still really enjoyable.
So yeah. So other than that, I also played the demo for I forgot the name already. What Contra Rogue whatever Rogue Core.
You did.
I did. I didn't like it that much, but it's probably because I might just not be into like twin stick shooters. I don't play a lot of them. And yeah, it's more that and not so much that like that it ruined Contra or whatever. Like,
People are so mad about that game.
yeah.
And ever since I said I like it, every like video I do
no.
where I do a preview or impressions, people are like, "Well, I can't trust you now because you like Contra," and they're like, "How much?
Oh, boy.
How much did Konami pay you?" And I'm like, "I swear to God, I legitimately like this game. I don't think it's the best game I've ever played, but I enjoy it. It feels good to me. I have fun with it. I'm not lying. I like the game."
Yeah. Well, granted, I just played a demo, and it's not very long.
No.
At all.
But yeah, I mean,
but
if you're not into like twin stick shooters, then yeah,
yeah,
obviously
it might be more fun playing with somebody else.
Contra usually is.
Especially since you compared it to Smash TV, and that's
Yeah, it definitely
which
has
is also more fun doing when you play multiplayer.
Pixelrific, you bring up a good point. Pixelrific says Kirby, you would probably like Blazing Chrome if you like more traditional Contra, which he played with.
I did play a little bit of Blazing Chrome, yeah. And
it's just
that was
playing
fun.
with Nicky Hill is the whole experience. in
Yeah,
and of
that's
itself.
true. And and also I would agree regarding Rogue Core. I would agree with you and what pretty much everyone else has said. It's a very ugly game.
Oh my god, it's so ugly. The graphics are.
Here's how you know that Konami didn't pay Raw Meat anything for his positive reviews. They like barely spent any money on the graphics in this game.
Yeah, right. Keep all the money just to give to me to talk about the game. Yeah, the game, and I want to stress it. The game is not fun. I want to stress this again. The game is ugly on Switch, extra ugly. The game on
like
PS4,
bad looking ugly.
yeah, in my opinion, yeah. The game on PS4 is higher res, still just as ugly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's it's like looking at an ugly painting without my glasses on or putting my glasses on. Like it looks ugly no matter what.
It
it's
looks
just
like a
more
game from at least 10 or 15 years ago.
just more. I can see the ugliness more clearly now.
There you go.
It is one of the ugliest games I've seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's really ugly. The character designs are okay. I like that they try to do something weird with the characters. That's fine, but yeah, just visually boring and ugly.
Yeah.
It's rough. But as I said in my video, gameplay is what matters to me most, and I can take a very ugly game if I'm enjoying playing it. So I am. Is that all you played?
I also played yesterday. I played a very little bit of the Ori and the Blind Forest demo.
Ooh, the first time playing it. Yeah, you didn't have an Xbox. Well, you could have played it on PC.
Oh, that's right. It was an exclusive, wasn't it?
Yes.
For a while. Yeah, this is my first time playing it.
Man, so good. Are you gonna get the full game? I mean, it's another Metroidvania.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I for some reason I had assumed that it was just like a puzzle platformer.
No, it's very much Metroidvania.
Oh, okay.
Big world, get abilities to access new areas. Yeah, all that. Great. There's a great story in there too.
Yeah, and so far I like the music a lot.
Great soundtrack. Yeah, it's very, very good. And I'll bring it up because you brought the game up. The developers said the Switch version is the best version. The Switch version actually has smoother animations than were found in the other versions because they said they've learned a lot of stuff since then, and they've during the porting process took the stuff that they learned and applied it. So legitimately, the Switch version is the best running looking version.
Was this their first game?
I don't even know the name of the team.
Okay.
I
mean,
clearly, I guess there's a very good chance it was because I can't name any of their other games. God, I can't remember who did it. I'm gonna look it up. But yes, did you finish the demo?
No. I only played a few minutes, and then I because I had to leave.
Well, if you do end up playing the full demo or the full game,
I'm
very interested to hear what you think.
I definitely plan on completing the demo, and then we'll see if I end up getting the complete game. So that was all I played. So I basically just played the Switch a lot over the past few weeks.
Here, Moon Studios is the developer, and they have only done Ori and the Blind Forest.
Okay.
And their next game is Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Will of the Wisp?
I thought it was Will of the Wisp, like
Yeah,
that. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah.
Mon Brain,
Yes, dear.
What'd you play,
I played a little bit of
Monica?
In my life. I played a little bit of June's Journey, and I played a little bit of Sugar Blast, and
You filthy casual.
I am
No Doritos or Mountain Dew for you. You got to eat. What do filthy casuals eat?
dried mango and
salads
tea.
Salads.
and fruit.
I did eat a lot of
with
fruit this week.
nutrition.
Ants on a log.
Ants on a log is bogus, totally bogus.
Yeah, I don't- somebody must have like dropped.
It's not my thing.
Like
Name
those
the
things.
ingredients of ants on a log.
Raisins, peanut butter, celery. Yeah, I don't.
Have
know.
you seen it? Raisins, celery. Any-
Peanut butter.
Nope.
Wait, what is
Cream
that?
cheese.
What are you doing?
Cream cheese. How
Oh.
gross is that?
I just threw up in my head.
Jesus.
Can you imagine? Can you even?
What's
imagine?
wrong with you?
Exactly. Yeah. Mhm.
What a load of
Maybe
garbage.
it's like a southern thing.
That no, it's like we don't get paid until next week, kids. Here's what's in the fridge.
I mean,
we got
we've been
raisins.
in that position
You put raisins
before.
in the fridge? No.
No, you don't put raisins in the fridge.
No.
Raisins, peanut butter, and celery.
I mean, we've been in like lean times, but we've never had ants on a log.
Laxter has something interesting here. What about instead of raisins, chocolate chips? Makes it better. Two of those things are good.
Celery does
Yeah.
not
Celery
go
is
with
as
peanut butter
yeah.
at all.
Celery as the
Yeah.
delivery method is incorrect.
Celery and cream cheese without the raisins.
Alawolf says
Maybe.
I put raisins in the fridge. Yeah, I don't think you like. It's not a thing you can't do. I don't think most people put them in the
It's
fridge.
just not something you would do.
Wow.
You know what they should have used instead of celery? Maybe like a breadstick or something.
Yes. Rob says I can only eat celery with peanut butter.
How about this? Ants on a raft, and you do graham cracker with peanut butter. And
Oh, there you
raisins.
go. That's better.
Joseph says I thought it was to make kids eat healthy. Then again, as a kid, I got spinach mixed with cheese. That sounds.
Listen, for
that
the
sounds okay,
record-
right?
It's like a quiche.
Raisins really aren't all that healthy,
Oh,
and they're terrible for your teeth.
You know.
Dried fruit is awful.
All
for your
right,
teeth.
Teach. You got to ruin everything here. Jeez. Everybody on the show loves raisins. Number one.
it's their favorite thing to get for Halloween.
Which is
You came
why,
to this
for
house.
the record, and I'm glad for it today, no trick or treaters come here because my mother gave out goldfish crackers, raisins, and toothbrushes.
Okay, I want to argue
It's mortifying.
raisins and toothbrush. That sucks. Goldfish
Toothbrush.
crackers.
Remember last year?
I wouldn't be upset.
No, I'd eat them.
Remember last year Dorothy came over with her kids after they were trick-or-treating, and they were like going through their bags, and one of them found like a bag of Doritos, and we were like, that is what you need trick-or-treating. You have like all that candy, and then you just need to cleanse the
Yeah,
palate
you
with a
get something
Dorito.
nice
I
like
was
that.
like, that's a good
Well,
idea.
It's also sweet, but as I was saying to you just the other day, I see that who does them? That doesn't matter. Those little mini muffins.
Little bites?
Yeah,
Oh,
little
yeah,
bites.
yeah.
And
They
Tim's,
have
I
like
think?
Halloween themed like little bags of them.
Do they really?
I'm like, if I went to somebody's house and got that, I'd be happy about that.
They,
Those
uh,
are great.
do they make like little brownies too?
Yes,
they
they
do.
do,
They
yeah.
I've had
do.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a kid who eats those
They're
every
good.
day. It's
Those
cool.
little,
Every time I'm
uh,
like, you sure you're gonna eat
Those
all
little
those?
chocolate chip muffins, man, they're,
Oh, they're
really
great.
good. They're really good. Why don't we get those?
Because they're junk. They're so bad for you. It's
I
all
mean, like
chemicals.
we have a bag. We
What's
have
your
a
point?
yeah. We have a drawer full of Cheetos and other.
Let
you know
me
what
rephrase
I'm eating?
this. They're junk and I love them. And
Oh,
that's why we don't have them in
Oh.
our house.
You know what we do have? Sun chips, which we haven't had in a long time. I'm gonna say great chip. It's a great chip.
Rummy was like, I
What's
need
your
a chip,
favorite
a snack
sun chip
chip.
flavor?
I've only had a handful. I've had like regular cheddar.
Was there like a harvest
ranch.
cheddar or something?
Well, that's what they call the cheddar. It's just harvest cheddar.
I need
Mm.
to have like here's a
I kind
Patreon
of like
exclusive. I need to
garden
have.
salsa too.
We need to do a podcast where we just eat sun chips and rate them.
I've never
Um,
had garden salsa, I don't think.
Yeah, I would as of
Oh.
right now. I'd just go with classic because I like classic, but I need to taste test the other ones. Man, that'd be a great idea for a podcast.
just
where you
eating
just get
sun chips.
All like of one type of food. Like this week,
Every
show is
Dorito?
sun chip.
Gamer
This
fuel.
week is Dorito. Next week is
Do you know how many
Pringles.
different kinds of Mountain Dews there are now?
Code
we
Red,
could do
baby.
Doritos and Mountain
There's
Dew.
like a whole rainbow.
Yeah.
So the show would last for probably a month, and then we'd be dead.
We'd get diabetes and die.
Diabetes.
Rob says, I want an hour-long stream of the podcast regulars eating sun chips in silence for an hour. The bag crinkling and the
Oh
sun
my
chips.
God. I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. So you know how I will listen to like a sleep story on Headspace at night sometimes?
Yes.
Well, they just rolled out pretty recently a bunch of new ones, and one of them is something like Midnight Library, and I'm like, yeah, this is it, but it's labeled ASMR.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, maybe I'll hear like pages turning. She's whispering.
Oh no!
Welcome
Stop!
to the
Stop!
Midnight Library.
Hey,
And
Taw.
she speaks through her nose. It's terrible.
Taw says sun chips are C or B tier chip. I want to know what your S tier chip is. Yeah, Joseph.
S tier?
Yeah, S. You heard me.
What does
This is
that
a
mean?
video game podcast, not you. A, you go, D, C, B, A, S.
Superior?
Sure. Blunners, who I guess isn't from the States, I never remember where anybody's from, says, what are sun chips? They're made on the sun, Blunners. I don't know what else. We grow them in a garden. I don't know why they're S for
They're
sun
like
chips. Yeah.
they're not healthy, but they're like multi-grain, I think, chips. So they're not made of potato. I mean, there might be potato in them, but they're more of like a very thin cracker.
BagelNet says bagel chips are S tier. I mean, bagel chips are good.
Bagel, you know what's better than a bagel chip? A Stacy's pita chip in the black bag.
I would disagree with that.
I can't keep those in the house either because I eat them.
Brian says all the rye chips are S tier. Yeah, nice rye chip is good.
Rye,
Anyway,
anything is good.
that is true. We can all agree on that. Thanks for
that?
telling us what you played, Mom Brain.
That sandwich bread I got is a nice one, right? It's
It is,
smaller
yes.
than the Pepperidge Farm Farmhouse White.
That's what
but-
annoys me.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a little bit.
I just eat 4 slices instead of 2 because 2 slices equals a regular slice of bread.
No, I mean, it's 2 slices of bread is 2 slices of bread.
No, that's not true.
Okay, well,
They're half this.
I'm trying to do some portion control. And it's
For who,
a
me or
lot-
you?
For me.
Well,
It's
you
been
can
a-
eat. You can eat
It's
one.
been a long summer.
You can eat one.
A long summer
No,
full of
I
bad food.
took the
Well,
slice
good
of
food,
I
but-
took the slice of bread out and I was like, "What's wrong with this
You mean
bread?"
like see through it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's so thin.
There's really makes a good peanut butter sandwich. I made a peanut butter sandwich for lunch today with a cup of coffee. It was so nice.
Taw says my S tier chip is probably either Doritos or Cheez-Its. Are we considering Cheez-Its a chip?
Cheez-Its are not a chip; they're a cracker. Yeah, for sure. I always appreciate.
But he says he eats toasty Cheez-Its. That's the way to go.
Oh yeah, I always appreciate a ruffle
Mm.
with ridges
Mm.
and a salt and vinegar chip. But
Mm.
the way I like to eat salt and vinegar chips hurts my mouth.
Rob says Cheez-Its ain't no chips.
They're not. They're crackers, and they're delicious and superior to cheese nips.
Oh yeah, I hated getting cheese nips in my lunch at school.
Yeah, cheese nips blow.
Well, confirmed. My parents don't love me. I got cheese nips today.
You like a cheese nip.
I don't dislike a cheese nip.
I have a student who eats
You
cheese.
give me both a Cheez-It and a cheese nip, I will go cheese it.
Oh yeah, I have a student who
As you
eats
should.
cheese nips for dietary reasons, and we were having this conversation at school yesterday. I was like, guys, raw meat likes a cheese nip, and one of the teaching assistants looks at me and goes, I do too. And I was like, get out of my classroom.
Well, I'll be texting her later tonight. Thanks for telling us what you played, Mom Brain.
You're welcome. What'd you play, Rob?
Wow, thank you.
You put that little pain patch on my shoulder today, so I owe you one.
Thank you. So I have, like I said, I did a review of Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. So obviously I was playing that, recorded a ton of footage. And if you saw the review, you know how I feel. But if you didn't see the review, let me tell you how I feel. Boy, what a lovely game that is. It is, as I said in the review, one of the best platformers I've played in recent memory. And it makes sense that that's the case because I saw that. Because it is made by Playtonic, who is mostly made up of former Rare developers, and Rare has made a platformer or two in their day, and this feels very close to Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Everything I think you liked about Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, I think you will like about Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. Great level design, gorgeous looking game, fantastic soundtrack. A couple of unique mechanics thrown in there, like the ability to change the themes of a level. There's certain options where you can go into a level twice because you've changed the theme of it. Like there's these berries that'll freeze over a level. So a water level changes into an ice level, and you get a new path through the level and new things to explore. And there's also the impossible lair, which you can go right to from the beginning of the game and try and beat it. It's going to be very challenging if you try and do that. They want you to go through the other levels and collect bees, because basically each bee gives you another hit. It's like a shield that flies around you. And the more bees you get, the better chance you have of making it through the level. But yeah, it's a fantastic game, and I love every bit of it. But the soundtrack might have to get the little extra nod from me. It's David Wise, it's Grant Kirkhope, and it's also some other guy who is just like David Wise and Grant Kirkhope. He grew up on those soundtracks that they did, and he's like, I can make music in that style too. And he did I don't know all the songs he did for this game, but he did the underwater theme, which is like, come on, like they were like, all right, guy, let's see what you can do. They gave him the water theme. He did a beautiful one. It's a fantastic song, and it's very much in the style of Wise and Kirkhope. If you like 2D platformers, I think this is a must buy. I don't think this is a try it and see. I think this is a must buy. It is wonderful. I also played Fight and Rage. I guess I'm supposed to say it like that. Fight and Rage. It's Fight apostrophe N space Rage, which is a 2D beat 'em up, side-scrolling beat 'em up, but it's very much it's like meant to look like an arcade beat 'em up back from when those were things. And there's lots of filters and options in there to make it look like a CRT and give it scan lines and stuff like that. Roth, that's amazing. And it's a beat 'em up that, again, feels really good, has a really cool visual style to it. It has a fun soundtrack. It's not a soundtrack that I personally would pick, but I do like it. Like, it does a good job of motivating you while you play. But it just feels fun to play. I got to put in more time with it. I did a quick video about it if you want to check that out on the YouTube channel. But yeah, it's a blast. I really like it. I love beat 'em ups, and I'm coming off of River City Girls, which was fantastic, and now I'm playing another great beat 'em up. Also, I played Demon's Crest, and as I said, I've never played Demon's Crest before. It was always something that I knew I should have played, and now that it's out on the Switch Online, and I was looking for something to play for Patreon, I decided to go with that, and it's great. Did you finish that game, Kirby?
Which one?
Demon's Crest?
No, I've never actually played it. No, I keep seeing that I want to play
I
it.
thought you did play. I thought you always wanted to play and then did at some point. You still haven't played it. Oh, it's on Switch Online. Well, I'm playing it now, and it's great. It's again a Metroidvania, but you have like an open world map that you fly up above and like scat out spots to land, and then you transition into a level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played Gargoyles Quest.
Oh yes, that's right, on Game Boy.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that's where I got confused. Well, Demon's Crest is awesome. I really like it. Perfect game for me to pick for the Patreon Let's Play, because I'm really motivated to get back in and play it more. It's really good. Yeah, if you want to see me play through that game for the first time, you can join the Patreon. It's $1. Patreon's $1. I don't care if you spend $1, watch all the videos, and then cancel your thing. That's fine. Whatever. But we're having fun over there on the Patreon, and it seems like you guys who did watch it really enjoyed the video. So thank you. Also, Mom Brain can attest to this. I have been playing a good amount of Puzzle Quest on the Switch.
This is true. I've been listening to it.
You are victorious.
I hear that a lot.
I account synced between the Switches, and I play Puzzle Quest on the Switch Lite because, you know, I keep it by like my armchair. So when I have some free time, I'm like, yep, it's Puzzle Quest time. And that's what I'm going to use the Switch Lite for, games that are specifically really good for portable play. And right now, it's all Puzzle Quest, because that's all I really need, because Puzzle Quest is so damn good. It's so much fun. I love the idea of doing match 3 mechanics in an RPG to battle characters. I love it. And casting spells, and I love it. I love it. It was amazing when I first played it. It's just as good now. Switch Lite is the perfect piece of hardware to play it on, but really any Switch is the perfect piece of hardware to play it on, because the Switch is portable. Holy moly, is that game fun. And that's really all I had time for this week. Does anyone want to play MC? What is MC? Why am I not figuring out what MC is? Well, anyway,
Mario.
Mario Kart with a C. Yes, Minecraft. Maybe it's Minecraft. Let me
Clear my throat.
Can
Can I just show you the greatest wallpaper for a phone ever known to man?
Maybe.
It's the log lady as a
It's
cat.
pretty good. Right up your alley. All right, we have questions. You can send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo. They can be about video games in general, or they can be about anything you want. Today's question comes from Nico Darunia. And they say, hey, podcast crew, here's my question. In a hypothetical Go Nintendo podcast movie, which actor should portray the members? Thank you for the lovely podcast. There's an actor, and he's not coming to mind, but every time I see him, I'm like, that is Nicky Hill. But I can't think of who it is.
What have you seen him in?
I can't picture anything at all. I'm drawing a blank. I just know it's a feeling that I have when I see this one particular actor, but it's gone. I don't know who should play any of us.
Well, I've had at least 2 people tell me that I look like Paul Giamatti.
That's it. There you go. All right. Kirby is Paul Giamatti. Mom Brain. I got no idea.
Me either.
You'd want what's her name? Laura Linney? Is that her name? No. The other one. I can't think of her name. From Twin Peaks. You know the lady you'd want. You love her when you see her all the time.
Nadine?
No.
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern. That's it.
I would love to be played by Laura Dern.
BagelNet says Martin Starr for Nicky Hill. Who the hell is Martin Starr? And then me, it'd be easy. You just got to find a fat guy in Hollywood, and there's not a lot of them. So, Jonah Hill when he's fat.
Indulge me and be played by James McAvoy, and I could just
no. Oh, Martin Starr. Okay, I see the picture of the guy now. I can see that. Oh my God, Pixelrific! If I could have Joseph and Pixelrific have amazing ones. Joseph's is possible because the person is alive. He says Louis Anderson. If I could be played by Louis Anderson with a beard, that would be amazing. And Pixelrific picks one that's even better, but it's not possible because the person's dead. Dom DeLuise. I would love to be played by Dom DeLuise. That would be good. Yeah, Kevin Smith can't do it anymore. He's not fat. Lost all that weight.
Oh, that's true.
Oh my God, could you be played by Fat Thor?
Oh, I mean, that'd be great.
It's perfect.
It'd be an honor. There's Twin Peaks gifts going on in the Discord right now.
There's Twin Peaks gifts going on in my head 24/7. Is anybody talking in there about season 4?
No. Because don't do that. That's not the type of podcast we are. Season 4 is not confirmed.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, are they talking about it?
No. Yeah, season 4. You made it sound like season 4 is a thing.
Oh, please.
Wow, Brian. Thank you. Brian says Christian Bale for RMC.
Well, okay.
He is. He does do a lot of like crazy weight fluctuations for his movie roles. So I guess he'd be up to the task. Thank you for the question, Nico Darunia. No one would ever watch that movie. We also have a Patreon question from Patreon member Maddie B. Maddie B, thanks for being a part of the Go Nintendo Patreon.
Maddie with D's or T's?
Matty B.
Matt. Okay.
We have, I mean, they know their name. They know that I'm saying
I'm
it
just
right.
wondering.
I'll approve all these, how I pronounce these names with you next
Good.
week.
I wish you would.
And I'll write them the way I
You
want.
numbskull.
Also, we have a question section over on Patreon where you can leave a question for the podcast and it gets read just like Matty B's question is. Hey there, longtime listener, first time commenter. Have been listening and visiting since the Blogspot days. Holy bajolies. Anywho, what would be the one franchise that hasn't been published for a while that everyone would like to see come back? Personally, I would like Rummy to bring back the captain's hat. Well, Mom Brain, you want to go get the captain's hat?
I don't.
Mom Brain,
I'm getting music ready.
would you please go get the captain's hat? Captain's Orders.
I can get it if you want.
I'm already moving.
All right.
I have
But
socks on.
and
It's
he's
hard for me to
Matty
move.
B says F-Zero. I mean, that's my choice. I would pick F-Zero because we haven't seen a new F-Zero installment since.
The last F-Zero.
Man, what was the last one? Was it on DS?
Was there an F-Zero on DS? I don't even remember.
Was there? GBA?
No, I'm asking
GBA
you.
for sure there was. Thanks, Mom Brain.
Oh, that's so close.
We tried.
You were such a sweet little gentleman.
GBA.
That hat needs a wash.
Japan exclusive. Yes,
Oh, you
Drake.
still
There
haven't
you go.
washed it? That's gross.
It has a patina.
It has filth.
Everybody knows when you have a hat that you like, you don't wash it.
That's not something everybody knows.
Everybody knows it.
That's what all the gross.
Man, you
people
guys are
know.
coming up with great answers. Brian says Advance Wars and Drill Dozer. Yeah, I would take I'd take both of those. Joseph gets the idea. Joseph says it smells like the sea.
Gross.
Other franchises I would like to see come back. Mole Mania. Not a joke. Only one installment. Really liked Mole Mania. Franchises. I'm making sure you didn't say Nintendo specific franchises that we would like to see come back. I mean, I've been waiting for Beyond Good and Evil to come back. With the sequel's coming, but we're still waiting. Drake says Endless Ocean. That's a good one too. I would love the new Endless Ocean. Klonoa. I want a new Klonoa. I love Klonoa. Also, who is it? God damn it. Matthew Perry loves Klonoa.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, Pixelrific says a Wario Land game. Roth says another code. All of these are great answers. Panel de Pon / Puzzle League. All of these answers are good. I'll take them all. Trying to think of like one that really tops all the others. I would like a new Bionic Commando. I think Bionic Commando would be great. I was just thinking about how I liked the new, not new anymore, but the new Bionic Commando that wasn't rearmed, like the 3D one that they did where it looked like the guy had hot dog arms. I remember I was talking about that on the podcast. I liked that. I didn't think it was great, but I enjoyed it. And I think there's a lot that could be done with Bionic Commando. I just don't think that game sold all too well, so they're not going to do another one. Yeah, I mean, there's so many franchises out there that deserve another installment, but I don't know if they're going to happen. I think I'd put Klonoa above all the others because I really just like Klonoa does a good job of being like a cutesy looking platformer, but marrying that with like bittersweet stories and really sentimental experiences. I like that. It's not something I expected from Klonoa at first, and then the whole series kind of takes that vibe. So I like that. My vote's for Klonoa. Brian says Jet Set Radio. GWX says 1080 Snowboarding. Trying to think of a song in that game. Work Your Body. Work your body, work your body.
Ricky Winterborn.
I was going to say, I know you and your brother can list off names from that game.
That's the only one I remember.
All right. That's that. My brain, it's time.
Okay.
It's time. It's time.
It's Vader time.
Oh, thank you, Mom Brain.
All right, so bear with me because we're following last week's
Also,
newish
Mom Brain,
format.
thank you so much for using your phone for the music. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Also, send your music to gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
Where?
gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com. We want your tunes.
Give us your tunes. Okay, so just bear with me while I get volume and stuff sorted out. So, this first song comes from Glitter Bubble 3, who says she has a scary song.
Game Boy camera.
Whoops. Here goes nothing.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh dear.
Bum, 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 bum.
I opened it and it just made my phone. Oh, yeah. Not working.
What's happening?
I touch it and boop.
Your phone just crashes?
Mm-hmm.
What type of link is it?
Well, I don't know because now everything's slow.
Here's a question. Can I ask you a question without you getting mad?
Why not?
Why not doesn't mean yes.
Go ahead. It's an MP3.
Do you not test these before you do them?
No, because
Oh.
it's then I'd have to mark it as unread and
Okay,
yada.
all right, whatever. I still don't understand how you do this.
All right. Well, that's not happening right now. New phone.
Who dis?
And we're really pooping the bed here. All right. Well, let's try this one from Mikey3319. No, not happening.
It did the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Just restart your phone. You know, like I had to restart the whole podcast because of someone. Thanks, Momry.
How do you?
Do you not know how to turn your phone off?
I didn't get that.
Not anymore. Not with this new
Just
phone.
hold the power button.
Oh, okay. Let's try that.
Siri, please reset phone.
Whoa,
Yeah, that would
she
have been
heard
real
that.
freaking great if that had happened. Mm-hmm.
Wow, we never tried it.
Wow.
How do you turn off your phone?
Oh boy.
I'm not sure I understand.
Ah.
Quiet down, lady. Can you do it from the... This is like the oldest old person conversation we've ever had.
It is.
I don't understand how you turn off your phone.
Well, let me see if I can't find some YouTube links.
I mean, okay. I just honestly have the question of how you turn off your phone now.
Yeah, well, so do I. Wow, I mean, we are. I mean, it's really killing.
Well,
my
I mean,
phone
if it's
here.
not working, it's not working. That's it.
I have to like.
It's okay.
All right, this song comes from Jet Jaguar.
Focus all attacks.
I hope.
I got nothing. I don't even know system.
GameCube.
Billy Hatcher.
No.
That's a good guess. Super Monkey Ball? Banana?
Love that noise. The regular button and the volume button.
Look at the middle. That's how I. The volume.
Man, what on the GameCube would this be for? Beetle Adventure Racing.
No.
That's not on GameCube. I don't know.
Samba de Amigo.
No.
I give up.
We give up.
Amazing Island.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, is that a Sega game?
I mean, the song
can't
had a
tell.
Sega sound to it, but I honestly have
It was Sega. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
no idea what that is. What is Amazing Island?
I think it was like a, I don't know, like a mini game collection or something.
I gotta look it up.
All right. So this next song comes from
Oh, I remember this cover.
Andy the Zombie.
It just make me mad.
Because the cover was so bad.
Yeah, it's a bad cover.
Hey, it's Resident
Resident
Evil 4.
It is.
The savings?
Yeah, with the typewriter
Yeah.
screen.
Save theme.
What are you buying?
Nice job, kids.
What are you selling?
All right. That was from Andy the Zombie, and it was Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube. This next song comes from... Oh, let's try it and see what happens. Autumnal Blake. We're thinking. Nope. We died. Okay. So don't send me MP3s anymore.
No. Don't say that. That's not true. They can send MP3s.
Send her an older iPhone.
I mean, really, what we could do, which would be the smart thing to do, is we could just do music on the iPad too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that'd make perfect sense. Next week, it's we're transitioning. We're figuring things out.
This is bad.
When did you guys get
Really
these?
bad.
While you were gone,
Oh, okay.
because we both had 7s and they were on their way out.
Oh,
It's time
okay.
for an upgrade.
I still have my 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. How's it doing?
Works fine. I don't know. I guess the battery life's not that great.
We'll just do one more, Mom Brain, and then it's okay.
Okay. This one comes from Pratt Trap.
Hotel Dusk.
No.
Oh, it's a Bayonetta 2?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's Bayonetta.
First Bayonetta?
What, the bar or whatever it is?
The Gates of Hell.
Yeah, the
Oh.
place where you buy your weapons.
Yes.
So listen, if we're gonna be doing music this new way, it would be very helpful for people to send me one. Stop the music.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me? To send me one song per email, because managing like 800 songs in an email is a little bit difficult in real time.
And don't listen to Mom Brain. You can send MP3s. They work.
Sure.
You just need to reset your phone. Something's up.
Yeah, send MP3s, but listen to me when I say please send one
Yes.
song per email.
Oh, Autumnal
Yes, listen
Blake
to
is
that
here at the end of the show.
So my apologies to Glitter Bubble 3 and Mikey 319 and Autumnal Bleak that I couldn't get your music to
we
play.
will get that sorted out. I know MP3s work. I listen to them all the time.
Yeah, weird. I'll look it up.
That is so weird.
That is so weird.
So weird.
Well, thanks so much for sticking with us, hanging out with us today. I really appreciate it. We'll do a little bit of an after show, but as for the regular show, that's it, my friends. Thanks for watching live. Thanks for listening whenever you listen, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
After show. We'll talk about whatever you want for a couple minutes. If you want us to talk about wrestling, I'll talk about wrestling. I had a couple people fine, Malakayla, that's fine. I had a couple people message me about wrestling, and they were like, how come you're not talking about wrestling on the Patreon? I was like, oh, I want to. I'm going to. But I wanted to let this week finish out because it's been the best week for wrestling, I think, ever.
Wow.
Ever. But Malakayla says I can't talk about it, so I won't talk about it. Oh, I got asked. Pixelrific asks, did you watch AEW, RMC? Did we watch AEW?
Oh, yeah,
Mom?
it was great.
I want to put this first and foremost. I love WWE, but more importantly, I love professional wrestling. That I'm going to watch whoever does it. Yes, we watched AEW. We rushed home to watch it live. And what would you give it scale 1 to 10, Mabry?
I would give it 9.5, losing half a point for terrible entrance music.
I would give it a 8.5 out of 10. Entrance music is also a thing for me. There's a little lack of polish. So which is going to come with time, which is fine. It was their debut show. As far as a debut show goes, like that was a 10 out of 10, but overall, yeah, 8.5. GWX says Jack Swagger. That's not his name, damn it. Its name is Jack Hager. Yes.
That has to be so hard for the announcers to remember
Yeah.
and like do right.
AEW was great. Yes, it has a very different feel from WWE. Well, I shouldn't say that. It has a very different feel from Raw and SmackDown. NXT, on the other hand, feels very close to AEW in some regards, especially how they wrestle. Match of the week for me has to go to Matt Riddle and I forget his name all the time. Adam Cole. Why do I forget his name? Adam Cole and Matt Riddle. There were so many great matches. We'll figure it out this week. But Adam Cole and Matt Riddle really, really, really did something amazing. Their match was so good. But yes, lots of great matches this week. And then SmackDown made its debut on Fox yesterday, and seeing SmackDown like in such a grand scope and scale was crazy. And then this weekend's Hell in a Cell. Monday we had the season premiere of Raw. It's been great. It's been great. Whole bunch of good stuff. All right, that's it. That's all we're doing for After Show. Thanks so much for watching and listening, and for your Patreon support, and for your support of GoNintendo in general. I appreciate it. Pixelrific says, do you think The Fiend will get the title? I certainly hope so. That'd be really cool, because I wouldn't know what to expect from The Fiend with the title. I think that'd be awesome. So we'll see. We'll find out tomorrow night. Yes, rest in peace, John Kirby. That's true. The namesake for Kirby passed away. So rest in peace, John Kirby. At 79. He was 79. Health issues, he passed away. But yes, that's how we'll end it. Rest in peace, John Kirby. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Except not really goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.
Not saying goodbye.